Later that evening, the apartment next door smelled like fried chicken and too much perfume. Mrs. Kim, a nosy widow in her 60s, had invited them over to welcome them in the neighborhood. She had outdone herself. Platter after platter lined the table. Golden fried chicken, bulgogi, japchae, and even heart-shaped rice balls. Juan stared at the rice like it was personally threatening her dignity. Mrs. Kim beaming. Eat. You both are too skinny. Especially you, sweet girl. Are you feeding him well? She smiled and nodded. Mrs. Kim. So how long have you two been married? Wine opened her mouth to speak, but Jungkook beat her to it. Jungkook in a serene voice. 3 months, but we've been sleeping together for longer. Wine choked on her drink violently. Mrs. Kim blinked. Jungkook innocently. What? We met on a trip. Things got fast. Right, honey? Juan smacked his thigh under the table and forced a smile. Juan. He means fast in the romantic sense, not the other thing. Mrs. Kim snickering. Young love these days. So bold. She giggled. Did you have a traditional proposal? Jungkook. She rejected me twice. I asked again with a bruised ego and a ring. Wine sputtering. That's not. I said no because I thought he was joking. Jungkook. I wasn't. Their eyes locked longer than they should have. Her pulse thumped embarrassingly loud. It was a fake story, a fake marriage, a fake life. So why did his voice sound so real? The rest of the night blurred. Fine answered questions about cooking, lied about them to be honest, and somehow they left with 3 Tupperwares of kimchi and an invitation to a couple's karaoke night. As they reached their door, Wine elbowed him lightly. Wine, you're so dead. Jungkook teasing. I carried the plan, you know. You were terrible under pressure. Wine grinning. You said we slept together. Jungkook unlocking the door. Technically, we share a bed from now on. Or we could already. She froze. Wine whispering. You're impossible, Jungkook. And yet here I am, your impossible husband. He pushed the door open, and for a second she stood there, just watching him. There was something dangerous about the way he said your husband, but it didn't scare her. It should have, but it didn't. Instead, it made her cheeks pink. She slapped herself for it. The sound was loud enough for him to listen and turn back with widened eyes. Jungkook startled. Did you just slap yourself? Wine froze, her palm still halfway to her face. Wine. No. Jungkook incredulous. I literally just watch you do it. Wine. Defensive. You're stressful. He blinked, then snorted like actually laughed and rubbed a hand over his mouth to hide it. Jungkook still amused. You're unbelievable. Wine mumbling. You keep saying things that sound normal, that are actually not normal at all. We have been sleeping together for longer. Who says that to a stranger? He closed the door behind her and walked past calmly, setting down the leftover kimchi on the kitchen counter. Jungkook, you're not a stranger anymore. She stared at his back. Why? Don't say stuff like that. Jungkook quietly. Why? She didn't answer. Instead, she pulled off her shoes and made a beeline for the bedroom. He followed her with his eyes but didn't move. She paused at the door frame. Fine. For the record, I would have never married someone like you. Jungkook, still calm. I know. She turned her head confused. Fine. Then why? Jungkook interrupting. But I would have married someone like you. Silence. Complete, heavy, pulsing silence. She stared. His expression wasn't teasing. It wasn't smug. Just brutally honest. Her throat tightened. Whined softly. What does that mean? Jungkook turning away. I'm going to shower. Don't wait up. And just like that, he disappeared down the hall, leaving her heart beating way too fast for someone who wasn't supposed to care. She stood there, hands cold, mind racing. It has been a week since he said that, and they both pretended like nothing happened, although the awkwardness stayed. Jungkook sat on the couch with his elbows resting on his knees, scrolling through something on his phone. From the kitchen, Vine stirred her tea slowly, lips pressed tight. She could feel him even without looking. That stupid sentence from a week ago kept replaying in her head like a cursed loop. But I would have married someone like you. He hadn't said a word about it since then, and she hadn't asked, but it replayed every damn day. She finally walked into the living room, mug in hand, trying to act casual. Fine, clearing her throat. You're late on your fake husband duties. Aren't you supposed to drop me to work and pretend a kiss in front of everyone? He didn't look up. Jungkook dryly. You wouldn't want to go. It's that time of your month. She stopped getting shocked from the things he knows about her. Fine. Right. You know everything. She sat down across from him, crossed her legs, and stared him down. That made him glance up, just briefly, then back to his phone. Jungkook, let me know if you crave something. Fine. Are we seriously just never going to talk about that night? Jungkook, without looking up. What night? Her jaw clenched. Fine. Don't play dumb. You said something. And then walked off like it meant nothing. He finally put the phone down. Jungkook softly. I didn't say it like it meant nothing. You just treated it like it was nothing. That shut her up. He leaned forward, elbows on knees, voice steady. Jungkook, you said you would never marry someone like me. I get it. I'm not your type. I'm just a guy with a gun under his pillow who's paid to keep you safe. Fine. You forgot to mention the emotional constipation you gave me. Jungkook gave her a dry smirk, not impressed. Fine, after a while. I didn't mean it like that. What I said about never marrying someone like you. Jungkook, you meant it exactly like that. And it's fine. I'm not offended. Fine, quite. But I don't hate being around you, okay? Just don't get used to me saying that. She barely got the words out, and Jungkook stood up so fast her mug nearly tipped. Before she could react, his hands were around her waist, and he pulled her off the couch like she weighed nothing. Fine shocked. What the hell are you? He sat down, dragging her right onto his lap, arms gauging her in. Jungkook, you finally said it. Fine sputtering. Said what? Jungkook, that you don't hate being around me. Fine. So what? It doesn't mean. Jungkook leaning in. I knew. I've known for a week. I was just waiting for your emotionally constipated self to catch up. She smacked his arm lightly. Fine. You knew about it? And you tortured me for a week. You arrogant piece of. Jungkook grinning. Say it. Finish that sentence. Go on. Fine. You know what I meant. You. Ugh. She tried to wriggle off his lap. Big mistake. His arms only tightened, one hand dragging up her back to settle at her nape. Warm and possessive. She froze. Jungkook teasing. Where are you going? You finally said something nice. I'm savoring the moment. Wine half clear. I swear to God, if you start mocking. Jungkook. Oh, I have been mocking for days. You just didn't notice. She opened her mouth, closed it, then opened it again. Fine. You're such a menace. Jungkook. But I'm your menace now. That shut her up completely. He smiled when he saw her cheeks darken. No more games. Jungkook, softly now. I wanted you to say it first. Not because I needed to hear it, but because I wanted you to mean it. Her throat tightened as she stared at him, and finally her shoulders dropped. She gave in. She let her forehead fall to his. She let her arms curl around his neck, all the sass and fire in her bones replaced with something quiet, real. Fine, murmured. Fine, you win. Just don't let it go to your head. Jungkook grinning. Too late. Fine stared at him as if to kill him. He looked down and said, Noted. She blushed, and to hide it, she stood abruptly. Fine. I'm going for a walk. She had to hide it somehow. Fine. If I don't come back, it's because I ran off with a guy more my type. Jungkook stood up and pulled her in his arms as he said, I will be sure to shoot him in the leg before he gets too far. She rolled her eyes but didn't hide the smile this time. Jungkook, you're not going anywhere tonight, he whispered. She smiled and didn't even try to escape this time. She was fed up of waiting for a week already. She didn't want to leave. Without asking, he picked her up in bridal style to take her to the room. She gasped. Fine. What are you doing? Jungkook said like it was too obvious. Going to the room. Can I sleep with you tonight? He has been sleeping on the couch in the living room ever since they moved in. Fine took a few seconds to answer. Jungkook, if you're still unsure, he was about to put her down when she stopped him. Fine. No, no, I mean, you can. Whatever. He blushed and took her to the room.